guys, what's up? Welcome to ETeeski Tutorials, and this is MORZ 6, or The Making of Robot Zombies, Episode 6. So in this episode, I want to talk about the voice acting and music of this game. Why don't I start off with the music, because the music's actually half decent, I guess. I mean, well, the music wasn't made by me. Some of the music I got from my friend Sam Johnson, who does a lot of fancy music stuff. I don't really know how to classify it, but he randomly told me one day that he was doing some dark electronic music, and I jumped on that, and I was like, could I use some of that in Robot Zombies? And he was totally okay with it, and so his music's actually really good and really gives a really big, epic feeling to the game, and some of it is really dark and is fitting towards the tone. But I needed one song that was more action-packed or just a better song for killing zombies. Um, and the music that Sam had, he didn't really have any songs that like really worked perfectly for killing zombies and stuff like that. And I needed something that was a little bit more upbeat, maybe a little bit more lighthearted. I didn't want to make it too dark. And I ended up finding what I think might be the perfect song. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to release the game and see what people say, because it's a big risk choosing this song. It's called Own You by No Soap Radio, and I found nosoapradio.com a long time ago, and it's just one guy creating a bunch of music. Most of it's retro music, and yeah, just really cool video game retro music, but he does have some more modern electronic type music. And I mean, he just has like at least 300 songs or something, and he gears them all towards gaming, and they're completely free. And basically, what he says on his website is you can use any of my songs in any of your games, you can sell the game. Just tell people where you got the music and just say, hey, this song is from No Soap Radio, and you can do whatever you want with the song. And I really liked his attitude and the way he was just giving away his music and just getting himself out there. And I mean, I don't really know his exact business plan of giving away all of this music for free, but hey, I gotta take advantage of it. And I found one song, I was just clicking through, and I heard this one with like a guitar riff, and I was like, oh yeah, this is pretty cool. And then the vocals come on, and it's like this like dark screamo from this guy who's probably never sang another screamo song in his entire life, or at least that's what it sounds like. Um, so I really enjoyed that song, mainly because that song just made me laugh so much. And I just thought it fit the setting of Robot Zombies and the whole feeling of Robot Zombies really well, just because the lyrics are really goofy and over the top, and the singing is such homemade feeling to it, and it was like obviously not recorded on a very good microphone. I mean, maybe it was. I don't really know that much about music, but it just had this like homemade, goofy, funny, over the top feeling to it that I just really felt fit Robot Zombies. Um, but at the same time, it's like one of those songs where I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of people who are just going to put their computer on mute and just can't stand listening to this song. But I don't know. Well, I guess we'll just see how it goes. Maybe I'll replace it in the future, or maybe people will like it. We'll see. I like it, but I think it adds to the humor of the game. Because that's one thing with my game is like the opening scene is really serious, um, and it only has a very hint of humor. So I really needed to have something that would lighten the mood and let people know that this is a joke. Like, this is all meant to just be funny and stupid. And I know the voice acting is crappy, which I guess brings me to my next point. Let me see if I have enough time. Oh, okay, yeah, I have enough time on my camera. Anyways, so yeah, the voice acting, I don't even know what to say about the voice acting. I did all of the voice acting. One day I decided to do that because I couldn't find any voice actors, and I was like, hey, I'm an okay actor. I took a drama class in high school. Um, yeah, that didn't turn out quite the way I thought I was going to. Not at all. Like, I just I am not a good voice actor. I'm not even a decent voice actor. I am absolutely awful. Because I've played a bunch of indie games where the programmer or artist, or obviously whoever is doing the majority of the work on the game, also did the voice acting. Um, and with indie games, when it's either your first game or first couple games, if you're doing the voice acting yourself and not hiring it out to somebody else, chances are the voice acting is gonna suck. That's just the way a lot of indie games go, and Robot Zombies is no exception whatsoever. The voice acting in Robot Zombies is so ridiculously awful. Like just the as I have to code it, and I have to figure out how to get all these sounds in there and all these audio files in there. So I have to listen to my own voice acting over and over again. And just the more I hear it, the more I think it sucks and that people are just going to hate it. So I really hope that people don't take it seriously. I'm pretty happy with the opening scene because it has a real serious tone to it. But the things that Twitch are saying in the background are supposed to be humorous. Um, so it's supposed to be kind of people are like, wait, is this serious or is it a joke? So I think there's going to be some people who are going to think that this whole game is going to be really serious. And I mean, I think the beginning voice acting is probably some of my best voice acting throughout the whole game. It just gets crappier from there on out. So I hope people will realize really quickly off the bat that it's just meant to be a joke and you're not supposed to take it seriously. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see what people actually think of the voice acting. But the way I implemented the voice acting and music together were a little bit different. Actually, I don't know, but I'm gonna have to go back and redo it later because what I ended up doing is I put a lot of the dialogue in the same audio file as the music so that I can change the volume of the music and make sure the timing of the dialogue is matched up with the music and all of that stuff. But later on, I definitely want to add options in the settings menu that so like music volume, sound effect volume, and dialogue volume. So they need to be separate files in order for that option to be available. So I'm gonna have to go back and redo that. But I guess it did give me one advantage that I can line up the dialogue and the music perfectly. And when you put really, really crappy dialogue over pretty, really good music, actually, I don't know. I'm hoping it just adds to the humor because the music makes it feel really, really epic and awesome and high quality. But then you're taken back by the dialogue because the dialogue is just absolutely awful and the voice acting is just terrible. So I hope it's going to be a funny mix and that people just generally enjoy it. And like I said, just don't take it seriously. Um, so yeah, maybe in the future I'll redo the voice acting. Not myself. I'm never doing voice acting again. If I can get somebody else who is good at voice acting to do it for me, or even a couple people, because I ended up playing all three characters. There was Kane, Twitch, and the grandma. And I just, mainly for Kane, I just made the voice deeper, and for Twitch, I made the voice higher pitch, which makes it sound like it's two different people, but also adds to the terrible quality of the dialogue because I'm trying to not only act, but I'm also trying to act like I'm two different voices and trying to make these two voices sound different. So that just adds to the whole crappiness factor. So hopefully maybe in the future I can redo the dialogue because right now I think it's pretty unbearable. But hopefully people will just laugh at it. That is my hope. I just hope people find the humor in it and like that like homemade quality in it, I guess. Um but yeah, I don't know if there's really much for me to show as far as screen recording goes in this episode. I'll show the opening scene because I think I'll be able to screen record that in this computer without it lagging too much. And I think that'll just give you a quick idea of at what stage the game is at right now. So let's go ahead and hop on the computer and do that. All right, so here we are inside of Unity. And I guess one of the new additions that you'll see in the editor are these big yellow cubes, which still need some work and are still a little bit glitchy. But these are basically audio triggers. They trigger audio files and bring you the dialogue and stuff. So for example, this one is supposed to trigger some music and make this zombie become aware so that it knows you're there and start coming after you, because that's supposed to be the first zombie that you fight. Let's see, where are some other audio triggers? There's one over there, there's one over there. There's a big one right here. This is the one where you jump and he goes, parkour. I don't think there's really much else to show you in the editor. Oh, one thing I need to take note of is I decided not to put in the bulldozer scene just yet. So depending on when you are watching this video and whether or not the game has been updated, you might have heard me talk about the bulldozer scene and have been really confused and like played the game and you're like, I don't remember seeing a bulldozer scene in the game. Basically, I have in the script at this point right here, the chip is supposed to be right here, and then a bulldozer comes by and runs it over. So that's like the last thing you see before you run out of here and try to make it out with only your life because the chip has been destroyed. And it's supposed to be kind of like a comedic thing. I mean obviously the chip getting run over by a robot zombie driving a mini bulldozer. I mean, it's such a ridiculous idea. I can't believe I even thought about putting it in the game. But I'm going to eventually put it in the game, but I don't want to put it in the first version because I don't think it will be as funny if it's a crappy animation that I make in 2 seconds and no audio files like explosions and a engine sound like the engine of the bulldozer. I don't have time to do those sound effects, so I'm just not going to include it in the first version. I'll include it later, I think, but storyline wise it's not 100% necessary, so I'm gonna temporarily leave that out. Yeah, what else do I want to show? This computer you can walk up to and press E. If I could select it, apparently. Okay, there we go. Thank you, computer. Okay, so this computer, where computer, email, material. Okay, so here is, I'll just reveal in Finder and make a big screen. So you can imagine this window on the computer. So this is just some random thing I threw together really quickly to make it look like an email of Victor Craw emailing the boss, or his ex-boss, because he got fired. And well, I mean, you can read the email yourself, and yeah, there's not really much to be said about that, but I just kind of really like the effect of seeing that on the computer screen, like in game, which is in the screen recording of the initial release of the Robot Zombie Alpha, or I mean in the game itself if you want to check that out. But anyways, yeah, why don't we give the game a run, and I will talk about, actually let me talk about the cockpit real quick. So here we have the cockpit, and the player is about right here, and you can look around. And where is it? I have a game object. Here we go. And then here's the game object, which actually controls all of that. And then at the very end, first of all, this becomes visible, and then this gets destroyed to hopefully make it make sense that this is the inside of the ship and this is the outside of the ship. So why don't I just give it a run, and it will make more sense. And it takes forever to load, and it's actually probably not going to load in the very beginning, if I have to guess, so I'm going to have to restart it, which will give me an opportunity to show you guys my crappy pause menu, which needs to be fixed up a lot and needs some actual polish. And yeah, so I made it so that you can hear the music before the game loads. I actually did that because it was easier to program to get the music to start that way, but I don't know if I actually do like that effect or not. This song is terrible. I hate this song. I don't know why I'm putting it in the game. I'll probably get a new song after the first release, because that is just such a bad song. It's good bad, go to No Soap Radio. He has lots of other really good music. I chose that song out of his music because I thought it was really funny, and sorry, No Soap Radio, but that song's really bad. But it's hilarious, so that's why I like it. But the rest of his music's like retro music. But anyways.
But this world isn't perfect, and neither am I.
That's my amazing voice acting. The tone of the opening cutscene is way too serious.
Stealing. I wonder what I can blame, though. The economy, poverty, greed. In the end, I think there's no one to blame but myself.
I'd have to say, though, this is pretty, like, a really fun roller coaster ride. I thought I would hate having to play this over and over again every time I start the game, but
jobs like this have become
it's still kind of fun. Also, there are windows, but you can only see them when you're close to a light. Like, see if you can see them in a second. We're going to fly by this blue light, and then maybe you'll be able to see the windows. That's something I'm going to need to fix. You couldn't actually see them. I know you can see it at the end of the cutscene. Also, the black bars at the top and bottom of the screen really make it look like a movie. Like, that's probably like the cheapest thing you can do to make the opening cutscene of your game look really good. Is just put black bars at the top and bottom, and then it looks like a real movie. I gotta fix this landing. Watch. I go down, and then I'm gonna bounce back up, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense. And there you can see the windows, because there's a light source. So that's something I need to fix, so that you can actually see the windows the whole time. Okay, here we go. And I still have a temporary health bar. Ta-da! The music really helps. This game would look like crap if it weren't for the music. And yes. And here's the game, I guess. So the HUD is new since the last update. I made that HUD completely myself in Photoshop with the polygon selection tool. Is how I made all of those little pointy shapes. Turned out better than I thought it was going to, at least. But yeah, and then there's also, let me get a good angle. There we go. You can see there's actually like scratches on the HUD, so it really looks like you're wearing a mask or like a helmet. So I think it's at a good balance where it looks cool and adds to the immersion, but it doesn't get in your way. Oh, I don't really know how much more there is to show. I think doors and buttons, were those in the last update? I mean, they're really not that exciting. It's just, no, they were in the last update. Pink is locked and teal is open. Yeah, and then, like I said, the actual information on your HUD is still temporary. That white bar is your health, and the bullets aren't where they're supposed to be. But, oh well, I will fix that in later alphas. But yeah, I mean, I could keep going, but I think you guys pretty much get the point and have probably actually already played this game by now, so there's really not much for me to show you from here on out. So I guess there's going to be one more episode of MORZ, or the making of robot zombies, and that will basically be a video that's like my final thoughts about the game and feelings of releasing it and changes that I want to be made. Oh, I really like how the music, people might think that I planned the music to time this way, but it actually is just luck. It's pure luck. I didn't plan that at all. The song just picks up right here. And that's a bad transition. It goes from the really good music to really bad music at a different volume. It's just, oh man, it's crappy. This needs so much more work and polish. Alright, well, I'm gonna wait for me to stop talking, because you hear my voice twice. such great voice acting, right? But yeah, and what the hell? What happened here? Half of my filing cabinets are missing. This looks like Tetris. It must be from the render bubbles, but what the hell? Alright, let me go try to replicate this. So I'm going to leave, come back, and they're still doing that. That is weird. Once again, guys, the game is currently in alpha. As you can obviously see, that is a weird glitch. And my stairs are missing. I should still be able to walk up them, though, right? Yep, I can. How high quality. I hope that doesn't happen for anybody else playing the game for the first time, because that's really going to throw them off. Son of a bee. Alright, well, I guess the next episode is going to be the final episode of the Making of Robot Zombies, and then after that, it's just going to be real-time updates where I actually update you weekly on how the game is progressing and improving. So, until my next episode, I'll see you guys later, and keep making games.